Hi guys, and welcome to the Watch Lobby. I've officially been making YouTube videos now for the last month, and I'd like to start off by saying that the support from all of you out there has been amazing. I started this YouTube journey for one reason, and that was to share my passion of watches with all of you in the hope of providing unfiltered opinions, sometimes against the grain. If this is the type of watch related content you're looking for, I hope I can earn your subscription to my channel. If it is the type of content you're looking for, please hit that subscribe button. It really does mean and support the channel a lot more than you may think. As for today's video, here we have it, the Seiko Cocktail Time SARB065. The SARB for me was my first what we might call dress watch. I purchased this piece in early 2015 after tossing up between this and the ever so popular SARB017. After going back and forth for weeks on end, the SARB065 came through as victorious. Let me know in the comments section down below if you think I made the right decision or if I should have gone down the route of the Alpinist. To this day, I'm still torn on my decision, and I personally don't know if an Alpinist would have slotted into my collection any better. At the time, one of my deciding factors was size, with the SARB065 coming in a touch bigger on paper. Taking my own measurements, here is what I measured the SARB065 at. A case diameter of 39.7mm, 43.2 if you were to include the crown, a lug to lug of 47.1mm, a thickness with that curved crystal of 13.4mm, and a lug width of 20mm. The case itself is made of polished stainless steel, a fairly straightforward case design with not many, if at all, any beveled or faceted edges, just a very simplistic design. As the years progressed, I became a lot more comfortable with wearing smaller watches, so the Cocktail Time slotted into my collection nicely. However, to contradict that, I slowly realised that my watch preferences were steering away from dress watches and more down the path of tool watches. As you see the watch here, it's fairly dressed up with this high polished Stabe Milanese bracelet. The Cocktail Time came on a gloss black leather strap which also screams dress watch. However though, I'm one to try so many different strap options until I find the style that matches my taste. The SARB065 very quickly found itself on a variety of coloured nados, purlons, and a different mixture of leather straps, all of which seem to match my personality a lot better, bringing the Cocktail Time back into the casual wear style of a wristwatch. After experimenting with so many strap options, I've come to the conclusion that you can really get away with almost any style of strap on the SARB065, which adds so much versatility to this piece. Just get the strap you like and rock it. Now, what I think might have been a huge selling point for the SARB065 was that dial. Keeping in mind, back in 2015, we still hadn't seen the plethora of dial options we now know of the current Cocktail Time lineup. We had this 065 with that light blue sunray dial and stainless steel case, the 066 which had a gold plated case, white textured dial with Romans at 12 and 6, and the 068 which I believe was a limited edition with again a gold plated case but with this amazing burgundy sunburst dial and Arabic numerals at 3, 6, 9 and 12. The 065 being the most accessible and easy to find as these were all Japanese domestic market pieces. The dial on the 065 is something special in my opinion, with thousands of lines in the dial creating that sunray effect that when it catches the light is absolutely amazing. There are black minute and second markers the entire way around the dial, with high polished faceted hour markers, a high polished border surrounding the date window, as well as a high polished Dauphine style hour and minutes hand, with that pop of colour coming from that blue seconds hand. Markings on the dial are kept to a minimum, with an applied Seiko logo at 12, and in black cursive script at the 6 o'clock the words automatic, and under that the printed words 23 joules, keeping the dial simple. Topping off the dial we have a high domed hardlex crystal. Looking down at the dial, I can only assume for some that legibility of this piece may be an issue. All the high polished features plus that sunray dial does at times make it more difficult to read the time. Let's flip this one over and get a closer look at what's powering the SARB065. Luckily for us, we get a display caseback which clearly exposes Seiko's 6R15, which comes in with a 21,600 beats per hour with roughly 50 hours of power reserve. It's just a tried and true workhorse movement from Seiko which delivers some incredible reliability. Like I've mentioned in some previous videos, I wouldn't expect many people to run into issues with the 6R series movements. Like I just mentioned, the caseback is a display caseback, which is also a screw down, with some inscriptions around. The words Seiko, water resistance, 5 bar, stainless steel, made in Japan, plus the model reference and serial number. So, what's my overall opinion on the SARB065? I'm going to be a little bit more subjective to start with. Unfortunately for me, most of the time the SARB065, even when dressed down, doesn't match my attire, so more often than not, I find this piece not getting much wrist time. I used to try to wear this piece with my smart casual business attire, but we all know what 2020 has done to days in the office. So more so in 2020, this piece has seen little to no wrist time. Now more objectively, I do think this piece is absolutely well made. Albeit the case itself is super simplistic, I feel it's purposeful in its design. Stepping aside, not trying to take center stage, which has been left for the main show, that is the stunning dial with cameos from those brilliantly finished hands and hour markers. The piece is then rounded off with the robust 6R15 movement. A note to add, however, is if you're looking for a piece with easy to read characteristics, definitely keep away from this or any of the cocktail timepieces. Those high polished hour hands often disappear into that sunray dial at first glance. What I would say for the SARB065 is if you like its appearance and feel the piece matches your personality and most worn attire, you'll be safe in buying and getting tremendous use out of it. To wrap it all up, the SARB065 is a brilliantly made piece, and in my opinion, the only two deciding factors should really only be, number one, does the SARB065 match my daily attire? If you answered no, you can just stop here. If you answered yes, let's move on to number two. Number two is, will legibility be an issue for me? If you answered yes, then unfortunately I don't think this piece is for you. However, if you answered no and you've gotten this far, then I think you've got a well-rounded piece that ticks a lot of boxes and would be at home in your collection. With that all done and said, we've come to an end of another video. I'm trying to learn and improve on each video to produce better content for all of you out there. So if you like what you've seen, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and join me as I share this crazy obsession that most of us are caught up in. And as always guys, thank you and stay safe.